Woody Womack and Mike Farrell. Mike, time for your picks of the week. Let's start on Friday. The Pac-12 championship, Oregon at USC. The Trojans only a 3-point favorite. Little fishy on the line. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, they've sort of struggled with bad teams, but this Oregon team's lost to Cal and Oregon State. And I know they're going to be excited because they just got their coach a new deal and he's going to be back and they're going to play spirited. But USC's talent too much. They're going to cover that 3.
Yeah, I'm going to take USC as well. I've been down on Oregon all year, as you know, from my picks on here. The Conference USA Championship game, UAB traveling to Marshall. Marshall a 4.5-point favorite.
You got to go. You got to go, Marshall. UAB is not a very good football team. And Marshall had that one, of course, but I really do think that, the over on this is only 43. It's kind of funny too. So I don't know. It's supposed to be 39 degrees in Huntington, West Virginia, and maybe snow. I don't know, but I would take the over, and I would take Marshall to cover that 4.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Marshall as well. They did have that blip against Rice, losing as a 24-point favorite. The MAC championship game, this game being played in Detroit, Ball State and Buffalo. Buffalo, 13.5-point favorites, likely losing their coach after this game.
Yeah, they're going to send him out with a Jarrett Patterson performance of 350 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. The over on this one is 67.5, which is funny because, Ball State's going to put up some points, but Buffalo destroy them. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns easily, and Patterson's going to go out with a streak of glory.
Yeah, I want to take Ball State, but I can't bet against Patterson. I bet against them once, and he just ran wild, and I was like, that was a stupid pick. So, and then the random Friday night game for some reason, Nebraska, a 6.5-point road favorite at Rutgers. We could have the Noah Vedral rematch game here.
This is his payback tour, as we call it.
Yeah.
I don't know why Nebraska would be favored over anybody, and I know it's Rutgers, but I'm going to take Rutgers to cover. I don't know if they'll win. I do know that this is going to be a cold, horrendous, horrible football game to watch. A lot of turnovers, and I just think it's going to be one of those ugly, 20-10 games. But Rutgers could win this one outright. So I got to take the 6.5 and just assume that Nebraska is not going to win by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, an ugly one to watch, but I will for sure be watching. I'll take Rutgers as well. There's no difference between these two teams, and it's at Rutgers. So don't sleep on Rutgers. They're a covering machine. And Nebraska was favored last week and lost outright. So, yeah, I'm taking
Isaiah Pacheco, man. Isaiah Pacheco is the real deal at running back. If anybody's going to watch this game, if you haven't seen Rutgers, Bo Melton, Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay.
Pretty good players.
Let's move on to the Saturday slate. Not a lot of games with ranked teams. We'll run through them. The Big Ten title game, Northwestern against Ohio State. Ohio State a 20-point favorite. Big number.
Yeah, take Northwestern here. Ohio State's going to win. We know that. Now, Ohio State, Ryan Day's no joke, man. He's going to try to run this up. He's going to try to make this impressive for the playoff committee and for all the naysayers that say 6 games aren't enough. But Pat Fitzgerald is a very, very smart coach. He's going to keep them in this game through the half and then keep it within 20 for the second half. So take Northwestern. They will lose, but they will lose by less than 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that first half number might be worth looking into, depending on what that is. I'm going to agree with you there. A random game mixed in with all the other championship games. The only ranked team playing a random game this week, Texas A&M at Tennessee, 14-point favorites. Yeah, I'm assuming you're taking the Aggies.
Yeah, I'm taking the Aggies because, obviously they've got the running game. Their defense is nasty, doesn't get enough credit. Weidermeyer is just going to do what he wants to against Tennessee. Mond doesn't make mistakes and hasn't been making mistakes this year. And they're going to want to put up a big number just again for the playoff committee. Don't forget us. just in case something crazy happens somewhere along the line, like Ohio State loses or Clemson loses for the second time, A&M's going to want that big number up there so they can push into the playoff.
Yeah, I could see Tennessee hanging around a little bit, but yeah, they just don't have the offense, I think, to keep up. I think it's going to be a hammering by Texas A&M, just running the ball, running it all game long. The Sun Belt Championship game, Louisiana at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina, 3-point favorite. They won by 3 in the first game on the road. So what do you think?
This is hard because, I ever since I picked against Coastal Carolina, I think against Georgia State or something, and they won by, 55-3 or something. I picked them just without even thinking. But I really like Billy Napier too. And this is a Louisiana team that beat Iowa State, right?
Yes, yeah, even though they're ranked, 50 spots below them in the playoff ranking.
Which is ridiculous, of course, and they only have one loss. But 3 is such an amazing line. I mean, it's so hard to pin. So I'm going to say Coastal Carolina is going to cover by 3. I think they win this game. I like the over. I mean, 55 seems like a low number to me, and I think these teams are going to put up some points.
Yeah, I think it was about 30-27 the last time they played. So I'm going to take Coastal as well. Clemson, Notre Dame, they're playing this one in Charlotte, the ACC championship game. Clemson is astounding, 10.5-point favorite. That tells you how many points Trevor Lawrence is worth, considering that Notre Dame won last time.
Yeah. So here's the deal. At the beginning of the season, I wasn't high on Notre Dame because I didn't think Ian Book was a guy who could bring them back. He impressed me in the Clemson game. He's impressed me since then. He's not making mistakes, making all the right plays, but they're going to fall behind. Trevor Lawrence is going to come out here on a mission. Not only is he playing for, his Trevor Lawrence-ness, but he's playing for a playoff, and you don't bet against him very often. He lost to Joe Burrow last year, but that's about it. So take Trevor Lawrence, take the 10.5. I think they're going to win by 3 touchdowns. I think Notre Dame's going to try to have to come back in this game, and then they're going to start making mistakes that they don't normally make.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and pick Notre Dame to cover just because show them some respect. I picked against them last time. I do think that Clemson will win just because they need it more, and they're both going to get in, and I just think that kind of creeps in. It's tough to beat a team 2 times in the same regular season. So all right, the Mountain West. Boise State, a 6.5-point favorite. They're playing San Jose State in Las Vegas.
The disrespect, right? This is the number 24 team in the country.
Yes.
And they're a 6.5-point underdog. And Boise State is going to destroy them. They're going to win by 30 points. Take Boise State in the 6.5.
Oh, get out of here.
I don't believe in San Jose State, not for 1 second.
No. Okay, I'm taking San Jose State and Brett.
And Nick Starkel, you're going to take Nick Starkel?
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. He's having a great year.
I know he is, but I'm not taking him. Boise State still, to me, and again, this might be my old thinking, still a very prominent, dangerous program that's going to want to win this game and win it big.
Alabama, 17-point favorite against Florida in the SEC championship game in Atlanta.
Take Alabama. Never bet against Alabama ever. Last week I was kind of like hesitant because what was it, 34 against Arkansas, and I thought they might not show everything or hold something back, and then they just destroyed Arkansas. They're going to destroy Florida. I don't care if Kyle Pitts is back. I don't care if Trask is coming off a 3-interception game and he's going to play better. This Alabama team is just going to destroy them and roll them. And Nick Saban's going to send a message, as he does usually, to the East. Don't even try to play. So I've got Alabama winning this one, like, I don't know, maybe 40-17, something like that.
Yeah, and this one's for the Heisman, and best believe Mac is going to take care of business, win that game. I'm going with Alabama big time. And I've said Alabama big for a few weeks now based on how Florida's looked even before they lost. The AAC championship game, Tulsa, 14.5-point underdogs at Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati is a good team. They've been very solid. They've played some okay teams. The AAC schedule is not exactly murderer's row. But Tulsa, a lot of people don't pay attention to them. They're a pretty good football team as well. And that 14 and a half, you got the hook there. You definitely take Tulsa. Even if they lose this game, you got the hook. So take Tulsa in the 14 and a half.
Yeah, I'm taking Tulsa for sure. They were supposed to play last week, got canceled. They were supposed to play 2 weeks in a row here. So I like Tulsa to cover their defense. Very good. They got a first round pick on defense, Mike. I'm sure you'll be writing about him plenty. The linebacker whose name I can't remember. Lock of the week. Okay, it's time. The Big 12 championship game, Oklahoma 5.5-point favorites against Iowa State. Sorry.
Okay, so here's the deal. If Oklahoma doesn't cover 5.5 points against Iowa State, then they should be embarrassed, and they should just, I don't know, maybe even like drop out of the Big 12. I mean, come on. They should destroy them. This is a different Oklahoma team than in the beginning of the season that started off 0-2. This offense is starting to roll. They got some weapons. I know Breece Hall can run the ball. I know Iowa State's been playing well, but Oklahoma should win this game at the way they've been playing by 20 points.
Yeah, I think this is, we had the Trevor Lawrence effect in the Clemson game. Our man, Ronnie Perkins, back better than ever.
It's going to be the Ronnie Perkins effect?
That's right.
No. It's the Nick Bonito effect, man. He's been better all year. He's awesome.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I expect Perkins to make a ton of plays. Breece Hall better become acquainted with him. I'm debating taking out a second mortgage, which tells you.
Well, if you bet a lot on it, then Iowa State's going to win outright. So there's no winning. There's just levels of losing. So I don't think I'm going to bet it, but Oklahoma's going to roll them.
Okay. All right. So that wraps it up. Be sure to check out more stuff on our YouTube channel, videos like this, youtube.com/rivals features. Thank you, Mike.
All right.